we're back and I'm at home uphill. And I know it's been quite a while since we put a video up. As you can see, I'm standing here out near the garden. It is beginning of April in Southern Oregon, which means we had snow last week and it is 70 this week. So the weather, who knows? As you guys might remember, some of our biggest challenges with gardening up here is our short growing season, and we can get freezing temperatures all the way through the end of May, and we've even had snow on like the 15th of June. So really getting plants into the garden uncovered before that is really difficult. And we have some room in the house. We have some big windows along this southwest facing aspect, but it's not enough. And then when they get bigger than seedlings and they're like true starts, we don't have a whole lot of room in there, and I can't put them outside because they'll freeze. So the solution was a greenhouse. So for Christmas, Griff got me a greenhouse, and we have spent the weekend clearing space and assembling it. And today I am going to be putting in some shelves and getting some seeds started so we can get some plants going for the garden. There's been a lot going on here over the past couple years, and I'll make a recap video about that soon. But first, let me show you the past weekend really quick on how we built the greenhouse. Okay, it was like a lot of work summed up into what, a couple minutes. But here is the finished product. This greenhouse is 4x6. It's just big enough for us to start some plants here. There we go. So we need to get some shelves in here all along the edges so we can get some plants in here. We had to cut a significant piece of this hill out to create a flat enough space for the greenhouse. You can probably see it a little bit better on this side. you can see how much we had to cut to create the flat space for this, and it lives right above the garden. So right now the greenhouse is pretty much in the sunniest spot on the property, right above the garden, and we just put a gravel base down underneath so it has good drainage. We might end up putting a frame of some kind along the bottom and anchoring it down. As you can see, it's a little breezy today, but we can get some high winds here, and we do get the snow, so we'll see how it holds up. We tried to get a greenhouse with a pretty steeply pitched roof to hopefully help shed that snow, but that might come in the future. For today, I'm going to be making some starter shelves just out of cinder blocks and some wood cross pieces just to get it started. We may build some more permanent shelving in there, but realistically the weather is good, and we need to get some seeds started before it's too late. And then once we clear out the greenhouse as it gets warmer, we can build that permanent shelving. So here we go. Let's see if this works. I only had to cut one. Okay, hopefully you can see me. You're up in the window. So my original plan was to do 2 shelves, but then they're like stacked on top of each other and there's not that much room as things grow. So I might rearrange. I don't know if you can hear Easy howling. I'm gonna rearrange the cinder blocks, and we have a couple other like cement blocks that I might use. It is warm in here, so I mean that's the point. I only have six of these ones. And they were just lying around. We just had them. We used them for various things. So everything can always be moved. these two. Oh, that's not quite gonna be long enough. Shoot, dang. Okay. Right, that makes sense. So I actually need one longer piece if I want a second shelf here. Let's go like this. Make a wider shelf down there. I'm not sure if you can see. Oh, sorry. So I have like bottom shelves, and then I was going to put one on the top here, and then I was going to do the same thing, but I essentially need 2 more blocks, which we have some, we have some other, not true cinder blocks. They're kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but we'll see if it works. Again. Okay, so we have some bottom shelves and then a top. I might have to replace this with some larger boards as the plants get bigger, but just for starting seeds, I think this will work. So I'm just cutting some little plant stakes out of an old ice cream box. Normally, I do wine corks, but I'm saving those for decorations, potentially to use for stuff for the wedding. So, cardboard this year it is. And why buy fancy steaks or something when I can just cut them out of this? Okay, but I do have a bunch of seeds, and I need to fill all of this dirt. So let's do that first. Okay, so normally I have this a little more planned out. I usually have pull all my seeds out um beforehand, but it's been a little crazy. I've been out of town the past 2 weekends, and then I just dropped Griff off at the airport this morning, and he could be gone for up to 2 weeks. So this is gonna be like pull seeds out of my box and see what I feel like planting. There are certain things that I'm gonna plant straight into the garden and not as starts. Mostly like the beans and the corn, um, some of the squashes, some of the herbs go straight into the garden and not starts. But it's gonna be a lot of zucchinis, tomatoes, peppers, melons is what I'm starting in here. So here, these are pickling cucumbers. I'll get it out of there. And let's do, how many are in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. And there's 6 in here. I want these to get pretty big before I plant them, so let's do them in here. These seeds are cool. These are all heirloom seeds. They say the germination rate on them, and these ones have a 91% germination rate. So I usually plant 2 in case one fails. I mean, there's the chance that both will fail. But then I can always thin it out if I need to. So cucumbers. Okay. Oh, I need a pen to write on my little pen. Okay. So those were pickling. You ever think you're gonna spell a word correctly and then second guess yourself? Pickling, not pickling. Pickling. Okay. Boom. We'll figure it out. Okay, the peppers. Okay, let me use the rest of the seed packet here. So these are my carnival blend. These are sweet peppers. Oh, did I open these? Yeah, we're gonna open. Let's do 2. I've struggled with peppers the most up here, because of the sun, but mostly because I just had a really hard time starting them. Last year, I did go buy some starts. Whoa, how many have I put in here? I did go buy some starts from the nursery, and those did better because they had a better chance. We actually got a couple peppers off of those last year, which is the first time we've had peppers. I know that in all our previous garden videos, I never really did an update. So our first year went badly. I mean, we got some beets and some squash. We did get squash. And that's about it. It was pretty bad. So we were still kind of learning, like, what goes where in the garden. The first year we had the 2 beds. Oh, I'm sore. I'm carrying all those center balls and gravel bags and stuff this weekend. So we only had the 2 beds. I hadn't really set up the watering system, which made it pretty rough. So we didn't get a whole lot, but it was a good learning experience. We learned that we needed to remove a bunch more trees from up there. These are the bell peppers. We needed to remove a bunch of trees. We added We needed to add the other beds. We eat a lot of peppers in this house. A lot of peppers. So I might do this whole tray, just peppers. So the next year, we did pull a bunch of trees out. We finished the beds, the other two beds, like I kept talking about. And then, oh, there's a little bug in there. And then we reevaluated. We put in a watering system with some watering barrels. The problem with our water, though, is our well has a pretty hard time pumping the water all the way up there. So it works sometimes if the water's already running in the house and it's going, and it doesn't work other times. I honestly couldn't tell you why it works and doesn't work sometimes over other times. If y'all might have an idea of why that is, it has to pump probably almost 100 feet. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know. Maybe between like 60 and 100 vertical feet to the garden. So it's a lot. So we had some, we got some 55-gallon drums, and we made a rain barrel system, which kind of worked. With like an extra pump that pumped it from the barrels up to the garden. But just like with everything else, can't ever figure it out the first time. So they leaked horribly. I figured out that there's a lot of issues with them. And so we ended up, I set up a drip line, and the garden got better water, but it still wasn't the best. And we got more. We got peas, we got tomatoes, we got a bunch of squash again. We have asparagus that's now on its second year, that was on its second year last year. We got some corn. They were like tiny, but so progress is progress. So this year, obviously, we have the greenhouse, and we're going to start some seeds, and we are going to really fix up the watering system, and I'm going to do a whole video on that this time, on the rebuilding of the barrels, because I know I went wrong. I know I'm going to fix it. Hopefully it works. And since I didn't film it the first time, I will film it this time for you guys. So I'm thinking, bear with me. So I have sweet pepper, bell pepper, jalapeno. What else do I got in here? And then I have a Hungarian hot wax. I think these are going to be spicy. So we'll do 1 and 1. And that'll be our pepper tray. Okay, done. It is 6 o'clock. Sun's starting to go down. So, let me get these into the greenhouse. I need to get them watered. The soil's damp, but they need to be watered. And then we're rocking and rolling here. So let's do it. End of the day, watering can, plants are in the greenhouse. So I just need you all to suffer with me as I climb all the way up there for the last time today. My legs are tired and I need you to feel my pain. Let's get these babies watered.